Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast, your top automotive refinishing podcast with your hosts, Corey Kleinfeld
and Ryan Brewer. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast. Today on the podcast, we have two gentlemen from RestorFX. We have the digital marketing coordinator, Garin Gustafson. I got it, I think. And we have Ryan Kaye, multi-time guest. Maybe like the third time or the fourth, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I'm frequent. We should even just have a featuring
Just
Ryan segment.
featuring Ryan Kaye. We are here to talk about, Ryan and I touched on it a little bit on the last podcast, I believe, but we're here to talk about all the ins and outs of the digital marketing program, which has become now not just a lead gen, but now it's going to be generating leads and communicating with customers. And Garin is the mastermind, but he asked me to use the almost mastermind behind this whole process. So what's up, Garin? Nice to meet you.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Excited to share a little bit more on this.
For sure. So just give us a quick overview of for the people that don't even know what this is at all, and kind of what it is and how it can help them.
Yeah, RestorFX had a problem, right? They've got a lot of great center owners who can service cars and deliver a satisfied product to the customer. But in terms of offering a comprehensive digital marketing program, there were some holes in it, right? And so the idea was not just put together a lead generation program using Meta and other platforms, but actually to convert these leads to customers and really build a marketing sales machine, if you will, so that these center owners can, just do more business, service more cars, and therefore stay in business and be healthy and thrive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we went through this shift, Ryan. Garin, for if you don't know us that well, Ryan and I are both PDR technicians. We have been for a couple decades each, and I don't know, 10 years ago or so, the PDR business went through this shift of not only relying on wholesale and really getting into that retail market. And really, really, really deeply now. I mean, I think Ryan and I are both even doing like full collision damage really at this point. But I think that's where the shift with RestorFX is coming too, predominantly it was just a wholesale business, really. I mean, that was like when I signed up a few years ago, it was like, here's how you go to the dealerships, here's how you get that work, here's how you make it consistent. But as that changes, we need to move into that retail market. But then the question is like, how do you get customers? I mean, that's the question for every business, really. That's always the hard part. Do the service and you have this amazing thing, but like, how do you show people, right?
And it was one of those services, just like paintless dent repair, that nobody absolutely knew about it. So that was the hardest part for us to overcome in marketing, right?
I would say still.
And I can easily prove that right now. Hey, Corey, what's RestorFX? The product, what is it?
It is a
polymatic surface regeneration.
Polymimetic. It is a liquid paint correction. That's how I answer it.
See, yeah, and so that's probably one of the more succinct answers. But here, you've been talking about this on your podcast forever, and that message is still hard to get through, right? And you're not alone on that. So many people have a hard time trying to explain what it is, and then try to build that concept. And what we noticed was ceramic coats did a really good job of selling that they were us, but they weren't us. They'd show a really bad car and then a really beautiful car and say ceramic coating. What they didn't show you was the 2 to 3 days of polishing to get it to look like that first. So now people would buy into that, get their car done, realize that was kind of half sold. And then as we come in saying, hey, here's what we do, and we're looking at the same thing, people would just relate to, oh, it's just ceramic coating, right? So it was really key that we got that messaging out and we realized that there was a big problem. And we had to make the shift, right? If you look at a cost per job of a RestorFX job versus say even a PPF wrap from Expel or anything else, cost per job, the profitability of a RestorFX job is tenfold that. If you do 4 retail jobs a day, you're talking $40,000 to $50,000 a month of revenue, of profits, right? Like that's huge. And so as the economy was shifting, and regardless of your political stance, there's no stability in the economy for at least 2 to 3 more years on either side of the border. We had to make that shift. The dealers just aren't sending cars anymore. The dealers don't know what's going on. They're freaking out. Like they buy a car, next week it's worth nothing, then it's worth $1 billion, then it's worth this, and the brakes are more. And this is, So they're cutting costs, and we're one of the first costs that got cut. And a lot of center owners started to struggle. Guys that were successful in the beginning started to fall off, and they didn't know how to adjust. So what we had to do is start going, okay, there's two things that we can address to fix this issue. Issue number one is we either send somebody down to your guys' center who spends a week with you building your market back and then coming back 2 weeks later to make sure it's being maintained properly. And then 2 weeks after that to make sure we're expanding it properly. And then it's just a massive amount of time on our end to keep you guys busy. Or we have to do exactly what every other company has done, which is delivered qualified people that understand what RestorFX is to your center so you can close them. And that was our first goal when we started this project. We went, okay, we got to figure out our messaging. We got to make sure that if somebody comes up to Corey and says, hey, I want RestorFX, they know they don't want a ceramic coat yet. Maybe later. They know they're not here to get a headlight replaced. They know what they're coming in for, right? They're coming to get this product and this service. Then the next problem became, as we started to fix that messaging and people started to understand it, we inadvertently inundated all of our centers with a huge amount of leads. You know, some centers were sitting like 100, 150, 220. One guy posted a picture saying, are you going to help me with these 220 messages I haven't gotten back to? Yeah. And so that's exactly when we were like, okay, now we got to put another branch to this. Like, we got to create, you guys are busy owner operators. So there's nobody that's listening to this podcast that's sitting with 12 locations, you know, driving their Rolls Royce while taking a cruise down Florida, right? Like, these guys are owner operators, they're workers. They don't have time for this. If they did, they'd be doing it. So we had to create an all-in-one marketing blanket solution that will help every center owner, regardless of what market they're in, or what level of shop they run, or how many cars they can process, or how many staff they have, or if they're just a single person. We had to create an all-in-one solution that worked everywhere. And that's where I got introduced to Garin, and he's been absolutely phenomenal at it. He's coached and helped me and taught me a lot more about marketing than I ever thought I was going to know. And we've employed a bunch of different strategies here, but I'll let Garin get more into it. I just wanted to give you the background on why we decided to go this route. And what it was is, we need to help keep you guys busier. And the best way we can do that is by us fixing the messaging and delivering qualified, closable customers to your door.
Yeah. So can I ask, so I did the digital marketing program, and for some, I believe for some it was working. I've talked to several other guys, but I did it for 6 months and I got a lot of leads. No doubt about that. A lot of people filled the forms out. And I actually had set up my own triggers within my CRM system to message them back immediately and try to nurture it a little bit, get some photos, try to set appointments, etc. And I have an office manager who all he does is leads. So the follow-up could always be better, but it was there, and I did not get the ROI that I wanted. So that was early last year. So what do you think the difference is now from that lead gen to now having the lead gen with some of that nurture? Like, why are the leads going to be better for those that have tried the marketing program and want to restart?
The biggest problem we faced then that we had to address was we were sending the wrong leads. They weren't qualified. Okay. And by that means it's basically twofold. One is the messaging we were putting out there was the wrong messaging. So they were looking for the wrong service, thinking we were a body shop, thinking we were detailers, asking about the wrong things. Two, they weren't responding once we did respond. That's always a big problem. 80% of your leads are never going to respond. So that's wasting your time, right? So we had to solve that issue as well. The third reason why leads were not valuable leads is there's kind of an unwritten thing going on in Meta. They don't admit to it, but it is out there and people know it's there. Whereas if you have a highly active social media page, and by that I mean 3 to 4 posts a week, Meta is going to establish that you are super active in Meta. And when you go to spend your ad spend, they're going to put it in front of their A volume people, because what they don't want is their top most engaging people to respond to an ad. And then a week later, you get back to them. It makes them look bad. So we also had to fix that issue where we're going to keep if you don't have a high active Meta page, what happens is they start sending you off to their B and their C list people that aren't engaging a lot, or that they're not sure what they're interested in. People like my dad, who's like, he never clicks on anything. So we'll just put this in front of him and see if he engages to try and figure out who he is. Right. So they would do that. So the other thing we had to fix was, again, most people don't have time to be posting 3 to 4 times a day. It's a full-time damn job. So we had to fix that as well. So we made a lot of changes to increase the engagement rate and lower some of the costs. But more importantly, and this is, I'll let Garin take over from here. This really what we had to do was our message. And Garin is an expert on developing messaging and monitoring ad sets. He's been doing it for years. He can talk a little bit about his history, but he really is able to just, and we rapid fired being able to put videos together in under 24 hours with a huge bank of footage and collection. And we can basically put 2 alternate ad sets, monitor which one does better, take that one, alter again, take that. So I'll let Garin get into it, but he really did a lot of work, fine-tuned our message, and unfortunately overloaded our centers, which required part 2, which is the CRM.
Yeah, and fortunately, I was able to go through the customer journey, right? I was able to meet a center owner down here and experience what it was like on the other end of this, right? And go through that process of getting a car that was, 5 years old, that my wife wanted a new one. And I said, hey, maybe there's another way. Maybe you just want your car to look new and not be new. And so we were fortunate to find a center owner down here and really get a finished product that exceeded our expectations. And at the end of the day, we didn't know what they did. We didn't know if they painted or polished, and we really didn't care, right? To a point. I think with RestorFX and acquiring licensees and building out all these center owners, they were so hyper-focused on the product knowledge and recruiting licensees versus what the retail customer cares about and what they know. And for me, I knew what the symptoms of my car were, but I didn't need to diagnose and prescribe, right? And so the messaging is really just about, like, do you have this? Does your car look like this? And it's really about testing various hooks with variations of ads around those hooks so that we're reaching all car owners that have similar symptoms, right, with their car or needs. And from there, we take it, verify that information, and now we're going to diagnose and prescribe, right? And so I think that's kind of a shift too that we've seen with the messaging is just, does your car look like this, right? Can you relate to this problem? And if so, let's get in, let's inspect it, and then we'll tell you what you need to do, versus educating them on clear coat and how it's better than polishing, right? There's a time and place for that. And if we can get them on site, now we've got an attentive audience that will listen to that message maybe a little closer.
Yeah, and there are like the engineers that want to know that, but I mean, like you said before, there's a large chunk, 70-80% of the customers that they just want to know that their car's super shiny again. They don't necessarily care they don't even care if you repainted the whole thing, because Ryan and I can talk about PDR and why you shouldn't repaint a car, but we couldn't repaint a car for the cost of RestorFX, but they don't know or care. So it's just like,
yeah, I'd say like one in 5 customers like care about the pain of the car. They're just like, dude, I want my stuff fixed, and hopefully you're cheaper.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
I don't care.
Oh, it's $1,000 and it takes a day. Cool, because the other guy said it was 3 and it takes 4 days. So all right,
yeah.
I mean, kind of, right? I mean, that's a big part of it, but a lot of it is getting the people to come to the location too, and to kind of know what they're wanting. They don't want a ceramic. They don't want the protection necessarily, but they want it to look nice again. Those are the people we need to find. And I think there's more and more of those customers. I don't know if you agree with this, Garin or Ryan, but just because car prices are up, interest rates are up, every time someone wants to go buy a new car, they're like, man, that's, I bought this truck 10 years ago and now the other one's double, and then maybe I should just keep this thing. It only has 80,000 miles or whatever. And so they're like, okay, maybe I should recondition instead of repurchase. Is that, you guys seeing that too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you look at what people do to service their car engine, right, with just oil changes, right? If you just took the cost of that over 8 years versus the investment in your exterior paint, right, it's about the same, right? But you're just paying for it up front, but it has a 7 to 10 year life on it, depending on how you treat it. But people are always just thinking about their engines and their brakes and their tires. But now cars are going to go 250,000 miles, right? But how does your paint exterior keep up with that, right? How do you preserve that? And I think, that's what we've got to do with when we talk about restore and protect, right? Protect and restore. And so we kind of lead with those 2 hooks, right? One kind of secondary, and then the other hook, it becomes primary, right? We kind of test those. And I don't want to say, we don't want to dismiss the audience that does want to geek out about clear coat and really loves their truck and stuff. But we're going to hit the bigger piece of the pie, which is that mainstream retail customer with more ads focused around that group.
The other thing is that a lot of these ads, they promise the world. We all see it where these random products from China are showing up, and the guy's just spraying something, and it looks like his car is like just came out of Barrett Jackson. It's like they know that crap doesn't work, right? So they're worried they're being sold. So it's we're really going after those people to prove it's a legitimate product, and we're addressing the actual statements that we're hearing from the industry. If some of our ad sets are even like along the lines of here's the truth about what's going on. Here's the truth about your car. Here's what RestorFX actually does. Here's what it doesn't do, right? Like we're going point blank and very blunt. And through the testing that Garin has done, it clearly is resonating because the people that are messaging us are now exactly what you're describing. They're the people that have the 4 to 5 year old car. A used car is more than what their car was new now for the same model. So they're going, well, I don't want to go into that investment. So,
You're right, yeah.
Maybe I'll just take a few $1,000s that I was going to spend as a down payment and just get my car looking mint again. And people are more conscious of that now, and really then it becomes to the center owner to educate them the difference between an OEM paint finish versus an aftermarket paint finish. And I know you both work in collision, but I think you can both say aside from say, I don't know, Tesla, no aftermarket paint job is going to be better than the OEM one.
Yeah, and the only factor is if you're doing like full custom paint job, like $20,000 multi-leveled sand in between. That's possible, but aside from that, just like the caliber collision repaint job, never, literally.
Yeah. The whole car for $8,000 deal. Like they're going to take moldings. There's going to be dust. There's going to be runs, and then the longevity's not there. They chip easier. They start to flake. They do. You're at the will of the person that painted it and their knowledge. And if they were that good, they would be doing the $40,000 chip foose restorations, right?
Yeah. Ryan and I've talked about this a little bit too. With the retail market, I always feel like PDR and RestorFX are super related. That's why Ryan and I are in this, but we don't need to generate a lot of for PDR. I feel like we don't need to generate a lot of new customers. We just need to direct their focus from the body shop over to the dent shop, basically. And I feel like a lot of that's the same with RestorFX. I don't know if you guys have thought about this or you're focusing on that. We don't need to create all these new customers that want shiny cars again. They're already out there by the millions, but they're just going to get ceramic coatings. So
that's what we got to do.
Take that, shift those people over to us instead of Ceramic Pro or a million other places.
So we're trying to shift them from detailing over.
Yeah, detailing.
Right. Okay. The guys that have told them you got to polish, you got to sand, you got to polish and polish and polish and polish, and then you got to put an expensive ceramic coat on, and then this and then I can't guarantee anything, and then 6 months later it looks like nothing was done. Right. Like that's our pivot is, listen, this is faster, cheaper, more efficient, more protection because it's harder finish, it's a harder substrate, it's UV absorption, you're getting far more benefits from a RestorFX coating than you will to just have, Bill down the street go after it with like 4 stages of polish and pads and remove your already far too thin clear coat, which is why you're having this problem in the first place. All these manufacturers' clear coats now are as soft as can be, especially in the heat where you guys are. If you just rub your finger on it, you can leave like your finger scratches. They're weak, they're soft, they're etching out. RestorFX can prevent and fix 90% of all of that and give them a vehicle they can be proud to drive for a lot longer, but also maintain it longer than even a ceramic coat does. Yeah. Right. They don't have to worry about it.
But so even what we're doing is going back to those customers, the ones that are buying ceramic coatings and stuff, I'd say 90% of those people still don't even know what they're getting. They're just like, my friend told me to get it. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's still along the lines of paintless dent repair where a majority of the people out there still have no idea what the stuff actually is and what it can do for them.
No, and that's part of our mission is to get that message through. So instead of, hey, Ryan, try saying this in your ad. Hey, Ryan, try and put this in an Instagram post that you do once every 2 weeks because you're a busy owner of 5 different businesses. It's, hey, let us handle that. Let us put them in front of you. And if you guys aren't closing them and there's an issue, let's find out why and how we adjust it to fit in Lafayette.
Right.
Right. You think you said obviously repainting is not as good as OEM. Do you think applying RestorFX to a brand new vehicle would upgrade it? would make it
GM,
better.
yes. GM's clear
Certain
coat
man-
literally is the worst clear coat on the market. And I mean, I own a GM. We just bought another GM. It's like the clear coat on my wife's Cadillac is so soft. I'm like, we have to get it in here as soon as we possibly can to get something harder on it. I don't think that ceramic coating makes your clear coat harder. I think that that's total crap. 9H, 10H, whatever
just
hardness.
covers it.
It doesn't. I think that's a sales gimmick, to be honest. Like I've been dealing with ceramic coating for over 14 years, and I just don't think it works. Like the only thing I see work, and I can physically see it, is when we restore FX a car, it's still not even cured all the way, and I'm beating on it with a metal knockdown the morning after, and it's not even putting a divot in it. So I'm like, and it's not even cured yet. Give it 14 days, and the stuff is going to be way harder. So we recommend like all GM customers, if you're going to keep the car for a lifetime or anything over 5 to 6 years, like come get RestorFX done on it.
Yeah. And that's, there's a lot of competing products that try to do that. The only downside to dealing with new cars, like i.e., I just bought my new Stingray, can you put RestorFX on it? One is, as we know, RestorFX is never 100% seamless because it's human applied, right? There's going to be signs it was there. Two is, if that factory paint hasn't fully off gas or cured, it's going to be very difficult to work with. So, you know what? The best guys to go after, I find, are the ones that went and got that ceramic coat from Ceramic Pro or whatever, or a quote for it, and they heard the $2,000 to $3,000, said, "Oh, I'm going to wait a few weeks and see if that's what I want to do." Now they've got some scratches, they got some marks, they got this. They've been using it, and they're 7, 8 months down the road. That's when you grab them. That's when you hit them.
I wish we could get the database of people who buy GM vehicles
Right.
and maybe not hit them up like the day after they buy it, but maybe 6 months to a year after they buy it. Then it's like, I guarantee the car is a perfect candidate for RestorFX.
Well, it's the same with Tesla, man. Teslas
Yeah.
get delivered with like 20, 30 different paint flaws in them. You can see the wet sand marks of them trying to remove it from brand new delivery. Like it's, and that paint, you look at it the wrong way, it scratches.
Yeah.
We want case study ads too that kind of highlight that, right? Different makes and models that we can show that, hey, this is what can happen to these models, right? And this is why we add 20% more clear coat back onto these cars and how it's going to help. So, we want to create that messaging too around that.
Well, so what about what's really crazy? Like, because I've been on the program for a bit now, and I'm looking at the leads and the type of cars that are coming. The number one car I'm being inquired about is not the car I would have thought it is. But the number one inquiry I'm getting is Mazdas. Literally 3-1. CX-5, CX-9s, Mazda 3s. People that
Are you saying Mazda?
Yeah.
That's got to be a Canadian thing, right?
That's crazy, dude.
It's Mazda. It's Mazda, bro.
Mazda.
Mazda.
If you want to get technical, it's Matsuda. But
yeah.
But so CX-5, CX-9, CX-3s, Mazda 3s, that's our number one thing. And I was trying to figure it out. And so I just started posting some random images. Hey, check out the CX-5 that was in my shop today and the new Soul Red Crystal. Hey, here's the blue one that we just did. And it's giving them the response on the cars they're inquiring about to say, look, it works. Here's your car getting done.
Yeah.
Yours
Mazda customers are kind of like the same as Honda customers. That like the people who buy Mazda are like all in.
Did you say Honda?
Honda.
Honda.
It must be an American thing. I don't know. Honda. That's an O, not an A.
That was quick, Ryan.
Kaye. You'll be American one day. Don't worry.
This is a different podcast.
Yeah, this is turned political.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of getting back to the CRM. We're talking about getting the customers in. This is a question for me. One, because we already have a CRM built out on the Dent side, but your marketing, your CRM's getting us the customers at least in the door to sell more to them. What about customer retention on the CRM side? Is there anything built out in there for like after the customer gets a service done, whether it be headlights, restore, ceramic? Is the system automatically letting them know, hey, we have the maintain line for chemicals? Does it call them or text them back a year later or so often, right? Does it do any of that?
Yeah, so we listen to each center owner and kind of find out what their needs are, right? We had a center that wants to put a refresh annual refresh date,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we've got automatic reminders and notifications that go out to both the user and the customer, right? When that time's coming up. Right now, our basic system right now just is, immediate speed to lead, right? Three times, three
Right.
ways, right? That's critical. Some of these center owners, they don't know if they're going to sit down for 5 minutes at their desk or an hour to make calls. And we want to, just create a system where they can easily make a few calls, right? And so speed to lead is important. And then long-term nurturing, right? So we've got a lot of leads where timing, budget, interest isn't there yet, but over time it might be. And so really we want to still cultivate those leads. And then like you said, we want to cross sell, upsell as best we can and bundle. And I think the system can create any kind of tag, any kind of workflow, if you will, to meet the needs if that shop's got a more comprehensive service base to it. So
Right.
the answer to your question is yes, we can create something to meet the
So it's
needs.
kind of a la carte with that. It kind of goes by
What the
location, right?
customer, yeah, what the
Right.
business wants.
Exactly.
Which
You
I
need another,
recommend
yeah.
highly, like the communication after the sale, because I think we all get lost in that where we're just trying to get the cars in, we get them out, we lose that sense of contacting the customer back, and ultimately it turns into a lot of other sales. Like we forget about it.
Yeah, with
Well,
the
and Ryan's wife Deanna came up with, an addition to a customer service workflow where now they get the review, right?
Right.
Here's the review we'd like from you, right? And just that little piece is really working well.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the clear
Nice.
effect. Yeah, we have something set up with our CRM system. If we tag them with like clear effects, which I might need to change, but
yep.
ceramic completed, then in 11 months they get a message from us saying like, "Hey, it's been a year already. We can't believe it. Like, come back." And like every time they have like a dent or a touch up and a refresh, and we've turned a lot of those into like $600 or $700 jobs because we just sent one text message and automatically sent a text message. So, and these are the kind of things that like, I've been familiar with CRM systems. I understand enough of how to work with them. And if you don't yet, like these are the type of things that like one automated text message from a customer 11 months ago can bring it back. And if you're offering multiple different services, can be a big claim. And you do that, 10, 20, 30 times a year in different aspects.
Right.
That makes a big difference for sure. And that's why when we
Yeah.
say
And
CRM system, like this is just like customer relationship management. That's what it is. But now because of the way the world is going, like this stuff happens for you. Like it's
right.
automated. It's very important.
Well, and I think the advantage with RestorFX and other businesses that are built like this, right? It's a different when you have 3 centers on the system versus now 30. Think of the intel that we get, right? And now our centers can feed back into it and say, hey, this is something we want to add, right? So we go from integration to optimization. This isn't a set it and forget it kind of system, right? This is like each month, how do we continue to upgrade and optimize this, right? And so to collaborate with our center owners, right, and get feedback and see what's working, it's just going to allow us to make this just better and better month over month.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love
And that's
that.
kind of the other basis of how I set this up was I didn't want to, I know there's a lot of companies out there, Mobile Tech RX, Shop Monkey, whatever else is out there. But really what I wanted is taking a smaller individual center owner such as yourselves, but then giving you access to that massive market of the same products, same materials, and then have those automations just integrated where, hey, we've noticed this is working better and we're going to make that change into your account, or talking to you and you're saying, hey, this just isn't responding well. How do we fix it? And we bring out ideas from different places. We don't, it's like Garin said, it's not a set and forget. What we want is to develop probably the most effective RestorFX selling tool on the planet. And that you guys are using the data set of 200, 300 centers to get yours working better instead of just once a month getting a call from your rep saying, yeah, everything looks okay, and moving on.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned Mobile Tech RX. That's an invoicing software, so pretty much nothing to do with customer communication. However, this was a question I was going to ask. They have recently started communicating through Zapier, which basically connects Mobile Tech RX with our CRM system. Is that anything that you guys have thought about, or is it on the radar for possibly connecting the CRM system to invoicing software?
Yes. However, there's some native integrations with Go High Level, and at some point we do want to see, at least on the retail side, or store side, our center is starting to use the invoicing system in there, right? Whether it's connecting with Stripe, Square, QuickBooks,
inside
right?
of Go High Level.
Yeah, there's native integrations there without a Zapier, and it just makes it easier. Zapier, you have to maintain, you have to update things, and you can't. It's just a little more high maintenance, if you will. And so, yeah, we want to see that shift eventually because the invoicing software is great with Go High Level. And I think, just so people understand, like there's so many CRMs out there, right? But the HubSpots and the Salesforce really cater to enterprise. You're talking thousands of dollars, right? And the Go High Level is the only one I've seen out there that's really not just a subscription fee-based one. It's based on how much you're actually going to consume. So if you're going to do heavy text and emails, the fee is really based on that versus, hey, we're just going to charge a flat rate on a monthly basis and gouge our customers, right? And so that's some trade-off too that we get with Go High Level that makes it affordable for our shop owners for under $100 a month to have the best machine out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we're coming in cheaper than what you would be able to get a Go High Level account your own on. So
that's awesome. And
you
then
you go to their website, it's exactly. You go to their website, it's $97. We're selling it out at $60 a month.
That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Can you walk me through like what the customer journey would look like? I'm scrolling Facebook or Instagram and I see an ad pop up and it's like, oh, does your car look like this? And you're like, yeah, it kind of does. What does that look like? When you like, are they clicking and filling out a form, and then what kind of communication are they getting?
Yeah, great question, right? So hopefully they watched the ad. Hopefully they watched a couple times. The call to action is get a quote, right? Get a fast and free quick quote.
Yeah.
From that click, right, they fill out a form, year, make, and model. What is describe the paint condition of your car, right? We give them some drop down options, and then we ask this question: what service are you interested, right? Protection, restoration, or both? And that's probably that probably can be eliminated at some point because once again they don't always know, right? But we go ahead and indulge them a little bit with that. As soon as they fill out that form, that comes into Go High Level, and Go High Level has a welcome series sequence, right? And that's what we talked about 3 ways, 3 times. It's going to be their email, their welcome text, and then we do require, there's still a human aspect to this, right? We do want our center owners or their salespeople to make calls within day 1, right? That first call, we really ask that it's within the first 24 hours, right? And so that new lead will come in and over the course of 4 days be hit with 3 emails, 3 texts, and ideally 3 calls. And after that, they're going to go into an unresponsive long-term nurture bucket if we do not capture them any inbound by that time. But what we are seeing is lots of inbound response, right? People saying they'd rather have a quote over the phone or come in for an inspection. That's kind of instead of getting a yes or no, not interested, it's what do you prefer best, right?
Yep, love that.
And so all the messaging is designed to just, hey, you submitted this form for a quote. We want to get it to you. What works best for you, right? And I think, this is still going to be an art form that we're going to have to master. But right now, we've seen a pretty healthy welcome series, go out there and communicate with these customers. We also want to identify if they said they have scratches, we want to talk about the scratches, right? And if they said they have a Honda Accord, we want to talk about their Honda Accord in that subject line, in that messaging. So we want to let them know we got their message, right? We know what they have. And that tailored communication, I think, really helps too.
That's awesome. And then at some point, the human takes over, set an appointment, and then we see him in person.
Well, if you don't get in touch with your first 2 calls, that doesn't mean their texts aren't still going out in their emails. And then hopefully they call in, right?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. And then I've even taken on to, like, if I get a notification that a lead hasn't responded to anything or like that, there's a section where I just drop in a price on the quote. Like, okay, well, they've got a Mustang, so I'm going to put, $900 and send that out. And what that does is it automatically puts them into another campaign. Hey, here's your quote. Here's your rough price. If they were just tire kicking, now they got the info they want. Here's your price. Like, following up, you want to schedule your car to come in? You let us know, this and that, and so on and so forth. And then that's where you can start to integrate, like, hey, here's $100 coupon to get your car done now. Just book through here, right? Like stuff like that. So there's lots and lots and lots of different things that we can start to integrate. But step one was delivering qualified leads. Step two is helping them manage it, and so that they're not making 200 phone calls a day. And then step three is integrating some of the other features that GHL has that we can really start to develop and just turn it into a sales force. It's like hiring an employee for your business at $60 a month is what you're doing. You're hiring a 24-hour employee that's going to respond to these people no matter when they message for $60. And that's how you have to look at this.
It's a pretty good deal.
Just based on the volume that people are spending in our system, right? Like the goal is for every 100 leads that come in, right? We're quoting 50 to 65 of those, right? And of those 50, 65 we're quoting, we're getting, 8 to 10 retail jobs a month, right? So you talked about ROI earlier, right? Like we're going to get a 10x on gross return on ad spend, right? And on a net, close to 5. Depending on what your costs are involved, right? And when we look across all shops and see where everybody's benchmarking, once again, we can figure out kind of what our aim should be and how we can boost others up to get better conversion.
Yeah, I think 10x is the goal, really. After shop expenses, employees, product costs, etc. I think like 8 to 10 gross on, like if you're spending $1,000, if you can make $8,000 to $10,000, I think that's the number. Because you spend $1,000 and make $3,000. You're not really making money after you pay the guys to do a product, etc. So, to be fair, but yeah, so 8 to 10, that's the goal. And if that's what we're getting, that's fantastic for a $60 a month employee. How do the center owners that have this, find out about it or sign up for it or ask more questions one-on-one about it?
One of the easiest ways is they can either reach out to me like they normally do, Ryan at RestorFX.com, or if they want to just reach out straight to Garin, they can go to Garin at RestorFX.com, GARIN. And then we'll just start the conversation, figure out where they are, what do they need, where are they sitting, this, that, and the other thing, how can we best assist them, and how quick we can get them running. There is about a 1 to 2 week lead time to get everything going. We set up the ad spend with them. We walk them through every process together. The other thing we did is we sort of broke this out into a 3-tiered system. Like we wanted to avoid the jack of all trades, master of none approach. And so we have one dedicated person that's running your ad spend that's going to follow up with you monthly. We have one dedicated person that's running your CRM system that's going to follow up with you monthly. We have one dedicated person to making ad sets and putting them out there. And now we have another dedicated person that's actually going to take care of the automated postings to keep your algorithm at its highest. So at any point going through Garin, he can reach to one of these specialists that is specifically working on that space of your account. And you're getting somebody that knows what every other center is doing. And you're not going to get a bunch of, well, I don't know. So really what we wanted to do was give you guys a better, more fluid whole marketing program in a box experience that just is easily repeatable across the market, right? So
including sales training. I think that's another thing we've overlooked, right? Is this really comes down to sales at the end of the day, and whether it's best practices in a script, right? A snippet in your text messaging, we want to support on that side too, because some shops don't have the resources that others do in terms of like a dedicated sales rep or a team for that matter.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. That's important. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna sign back up, give it a shot again, see if I can get that 10x ROI.
Well, and that's just it. Like, if anyone's listening to this and they're sort of humming and hawing off the fence, like, one, is your shop already exploding at the seams? Well, maybe you don't need this because you're busy, right? And you're making money. But if you're not, and you're going, where am I going to get these extra, 10, 15 cars a month? Is it worth throwing, budgeting out $3,000 to $4,000 for a 3 to 4 month test and just see how much it helps? Yes.
Absolutely.
I can't guarantee you're going to get your money back, but obviously, based on the results we're seeing, you're not going to be out money. You're just, it's a matter of how much you're going to make. And like you said, if it's, 3x, then okay, maybe it's not worth it. But if it's 10x, then 8 to 10x, then stay.
Keep running it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
if you're struggling, to have like get cars from dealerships and wholesale, like this is your route. This is your option, right? You got to try it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's it's that old saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over while expecting different results. And I can't tell you how many times I call somebody in a center and they're like, "Yeah, I'm still struggling. I'm going to the dealers every day. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's just not working." Okay, well then something's not working. Either you're not selling it right, your market's not responding, your dealers are telling you the truth and they really can't afford to send it, or you need to switch your direction and go. But you can't
Makes
just
sense.
keep treading water and then expect the world to change around you. You got to change to adapt to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, with the dealers and the retail is worth twice as much, which is great. And it could be worth more than twice as much if you're able to upsell different things, whether they have dents or paint touch up, which the new paint touch up is out for RestorFX, I believe, right? It is coming.
Yep.
Okay, so that's out.
The launch should be very, very soon. Very soon, the official launch. And we're going to have in the North American group chat, we're going to put a pre-order discounted price so people can sign up and grab that.
Fantastic.
But yeah, we're just finalizing the last few details on it, and that'll be ready to launch.
Yeah. So if you've been frustrated with touch-up, you won't be frustrated anymore.
No.
Straight up. No. Ryan and I both use the system already, and you pull the paint code, you mix it to the specific weight of each toner, and your life is much easier, except for pearl white still. Other than that, pearl
and Master Red Tricoat. That one sucks. You cannot match that one.
There's a couple that are really hard, but it's the best of the best. So anyways, with retail, there's a lot of upsell options. And in addition to that, now we can offer them, all of the product lines through RestorFX as well. And so there's another avenue of income.
Like you can sell the touch up, right? You can, Corey, you're doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So you could give them the option to you can either touch their car up and you don't get touch up, or you can pay the extra fee and you'll get the bottle of touch up with them. So
one thing I'm thinking about doing to book more retails coming in, it's something I'm going to experiment with in a couple of weeks, is come in for an inspection and get a free touch up. I'm going to mix your paint color and send you home with a touch up kit.
Yeah.
Just for getting a quote on your RestorFX shop.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I found bottles. Oh, go ahead, Garin.
Yeah, I think too, the opportunity is, the average household has 3 cars, right? And I think a big opportunity is with women, right? My wife knew more about clear coat than I did, right? She gets a mani-pedi every 3 weeks. That's almost $1,500 a year. Sounds gross, right, to say that, but that's just in nail protection, right? And vanity and cosmetic beauty. And so I think if we can get mom in with her car and tell her, educate her, now the husband comes in, and now instead of getting the teenage son they can't afford a new car for, but they can, touch up his used car, right? I think when we look at getting more cars per household too, I think that's a huge opportunity. We need to focus on that at point of sale.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that. 100%. So the touch up bottles, I do touch up for $75 retail, sometimes 150 if it needs a buff, polish, and touch up. And so those are my 2 price points. And I have bottles off Amazon that have basically like a little tiny ball bearing in there to help shake it. It's got a little brush in it, and it's got a little pen on the end. I think the bottles, they cost me under a dollar. I think it's a lot less than a dollar. I think it's like 60 or 70 cents. And so, and the toners, I mean, it's usually mix up like a 1/4 ounce depending on the type of paint, unless there's like 12 different options. We usually mix a little more so we get the right color. But I mean, I don't know how much that costs, but it's $1 or pennies. I mean,
if you went all out, you're including a brush and everything. You're $2.50 to get
maybe that's like
viable
max,
quote in front of you.
Yeah, it's $75 mix touch up. You're paying your employee $25 an hour. It takes him 30 minutes, and so there's a lot of money to be made in touch up, and literally no one else does it.
What customers can't find, which is insane. I'm glad y'all found it years ago, but the little touch up pin, the gravity fed one. Yeah, dude, you can sell those things for like $30. Like Dude, the sales pitch on that is like, look, dude, you could either use this brush, we're gonna sell you the touch-up, or I can give you this pen that you can draw your name in the touch-up. Like in the chip, you can draw your name. It's so like point
so
on. And you could sell that thing for $30, dude, because it's so hard to find that little pen. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
but
that's another little
I think
sale.
we all underestimate how much people like free stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Dude. It's amazing what people will do for free shit. So if you're just like, hey, come on in, get an inspection on your car, and while I'm doing the inspection with you, I'm gonna have my guy mix you up a 1 ounce touch-up paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that, but then also like because we're selling a service-based product, people love leaving with something instead of just a shiny car. So like you do a full RestorFX with paint touch-up and a dent for $1,400, and you give them this little bottle of touch-up, and they're like, oh yeah, like I put my sticker. I have a round sticker I put on it. It's got my name and phone number. It says it's got our logo on it, and they have this thing now, and they're like, oh, I feel better because I got this like thing. Like you ever take a kid to orthodontist or dentist, and they leave with like friggin' toys out of the treasure chest, like the same thing. You just spent $4,000, but you got like an Alibaba toy, and you're like, okay, that feels better.
Yeah, it's not so bad. What a good dentist, man.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I don't know what it is, the human psyche. It's just true.
Yeah.
So if you can let them leave with something, that's great.
You can just see it when people bring it in. They have like their chips and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, but I had the bumper painted. The guy gave me the leftover, and it's like 6 years old. It's now the consistency of like Mod Podge. But they're like, yeah. He gave me this. I kept it. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, bro.
They love that, man. Like, it's like
yeah.
I'm still on the scent situation.
You're still all about
dude,
it. Eh?
Well, dude, I got it figured out. So we're creating our own scent with this company right now. And I did it at my house. I found out from a builder, a friend of ours, but there's a essential oils machine that you can attach to your HVAC system, which we're going to be doing here in the shop. And it'll pump the essential oil scent through the AC system, so your shop will always smell however you want to smell it. And then we're gonna try to get the ones that go inside your car, so where people will be buying that as well.
That's sick.
Because you're in Louisiana, I just keep picturing, like Cajun
like a boil
catfish.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just gonna be like a catfish boil with a Cajun spice mix.
We have too many people that come here in the shop, and the first thing they ask is, "Do we get high on the fumes in here?" And it's like,
100%.
I don't know I can't smell it, so I'm starting to feel bad. And it's like we talked about scents being such a strong
trigger
thing for people to remember. I don't want them to remember that here for us. So it's like the scent.
My standard answer is all three of you shut up.
Yeah,
all three of you shut up.
Yeah, so nice. We're diving down that
scent is linked to memory for sure. Like go to a body shop and someone starts mixing Bondo from across the whole place, and you're like,
you can smell it.
I know where I am.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's good, dude. I'm excited about this for sure. I'm definitely going to try it again. I want more retail work. And we're getting more retail work just from customers coming in, but I'd love for them to find me without me having to sell them in person. So
yes,
can't wait.
And
to
that's
give
just
it a shot.
it. We want to crank it. Like we understand, like this is a struggle everyone's having in their shop, and we want to fix it for them, and we want to work with them to fix it. And it just makes sense. Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine while we were building this out, and he goes, you just got to think about advertising, and people don't think of this, but you think of McDonald's. Like, I don't think anybody in this phone call can't tell me what's on a McDonald's menu, right? Even the special menus we know because they advertise the crap out of it. But McDonald's in Canada alone spends $54 million a year in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And that's McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you're not advertising your business, it's archaic. Word of mouth is gone. You have to advertise now. It's just a required necessity in this market. And if you're not doing it, things aren't going to change. So step one is you got to make the first scary change. And if it makes you scared, that means it's good. So make the change, commit to 3 months and go into it and try it. I'm not going to say it's going to fix all your problems, but if it does fix a lot of them, then good news. You have your solution. Now it's just a matter of, hey, how much money do I spend until that teeter-totter of return starts to break?
Yep. Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, I know you got to pay employees and overhead and yada yada, but you spend $1,000 if you get one job, you kind of broke even for the most part. Yep. And so, if you can get one job out of it, you can at least feel like, okay, I'm not just flushing money down the drain. And one job sounds like it's going to be a pretty easy bar to hit. So,
yeah. If you don't get one job, that's because you never engaged with the software and you never did anything.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say too, like if you're scared of the online stuff or the CRMs or social media and all that stuff, business is going to get a lot harder for you if you don't start adapting to those things, because it's not going away anytime soon. It's going to be more and more. AI will start to change things. Automation will start to change things. So if you're not getting on it now, in 5 years from now, it's going to be even a heck of a lot harder. That's my opinion. But I'm on the younger side of things, but that is how I see it. So
that's the proof's in the pudding. Everything's going digital. Go try and find a newspaper now. Like it's all digital now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So magazines are closing, newspapers aren't being delivered to doors. Like this is the world we live in. And
very much so.
It's going to hit the Midwest. It's going to hit southern New Mexico. It's going to hit everywhere.
It's coming. Yeah. Yeah. And first mover advantage is a real thing. Like there's books written on it. There's all kinds of stuff. Like if you can be ahead of this stuff and start doing it before everybody else, you're going to be way, way, way better off. And if it's detail companies or ceramic coating companies and all that type of stuff, you can get in front of all of them doing it. Then you'll have a head start on it. So don't be scared to try it. You got to learn new things. If you're planning on working for more than the next 2 more years or 3 more years, you got to learn it. You got to learn it, or hire somebody to do it for you. One of the two.
Yeah. Well, we do go through training, so we'll help you understand it.
Yeah, for sure.
All these scary terms of CPC, CPLs, We'll translate that. We got internet to English dictionaries everywhere we need to go. So we're going to help you, right? 100%. And that's the most intimidating thing. Is it's something that there's a lot of people that we grew up with computers when we were younger, but really we were playing Oregon Trail or Pac-Man or something. We weren't doing anything hardcore, and now all of a sudden this has become all encompassing and we didn't keep up on it. So it's our job to help get you to understand that. If we look at even Garin, like he's from small town Montana, and look where he's come, and he focused on this. Like you said, he got ahead of the curve and now he's where he is.
Yeah, and I will say you got to appreciate with RestorFX that you really don't have to like really fully learn it. Like you just got to learn how to use it, but you don't have to create it, because 5 years ago, like if you wanted to do this, you had to create it or pay somebody a hell of a lot of money to do something like this. But now you got the system. It's built in with RestorFX. You sign up, you learn how to text message people through a different app, and you're good. It's not incredibly difficult. So I encourage anybody who's a little nervous to at least give it a shot.
Keep your flip phone. We're going to make it work without it.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's fantastic. Garin, it's nice to meet you. We'll be talking soon. I'm going to send you an email because the last email didn't work to the other one. So we got
Tip it here.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. So any other questions you got, Ryan, before we sign off for the day?
No, that was perfect.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully in the next couple of months we can do an update and give some feedback on how it's working for us. So
yeah.
Hey, maybe we should do your monthly review with Garin on the podcast, so you can actually have your shop be.
I did that one. I did that once, but we can definitely do that with Garin. I would love that.
Cool.
So I'll get signed up here, and my Facebook's already linked to the RestorFX and stuff, so it should be a lot easier, I would imagine, because I already went through that whole process.
Yeah, because you were already on it, so it'll be a lot quicker for us to just trigger everything and get it going.
Yeah, for sure. Good deal. All right, guys. Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Until next time. Later.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Masters of Recon podcast. If you're getting value from this podcast, then please subscribe to the show and give us a review so others can find our show as well. And if you haven't joined the discussion yet, then go find us over at Masters of Recon Facebook group to join the weekly discussion. See you all next time.